Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome to this kind of like a podcast section of my YouTube channel. It's a work in progress. It's where I'll be discussing whatever I want to kind of discuss, really. It's low pressure. It's just kind of me thinking out loud about where I'm at, my thought process, just random things that kind of pop into my mind. Me observing like the world, culture, music, dating, intimacy, and whatever nonsense I can kind of just think of, really. Whatever I'm interested in, like books, anything that I'm tired of, my rants. Yeah, unfortunately or fortunately for you, welcome. Anyways, this I think I'm gonna start with like something. So, well, it's not really been on my mind, but I guess it has been on my mind. Something that I've kind of, it's just always been there. So we'll start with that. We'll start with sex. Let's just put a feet right in there. Anyway, point is, I was thinking, right, that like with books that you read and things like that, the books that I read, specifically romance, there's always a thing. Like the woman's typically the one that's poor or like normal, and then the guy is a billionaire or he's a biker. There's always something special about the guy. And I just feel like that's not fair. We need to bring back, the norm. Going to the office, the guy just coming back. It's just him being a random bloke. Like, I understand, there's no fantasy about it. But we need to bring that back. Because, to be honest, not every book has that. But I believe in the erotica, or actually, no, there are some pretty normal ones. But in the smut world, there's usually something special about the guy. Or like the main character. It's the chosen one syndrome, isn't it? The we belong together type of syndrome. It's kind of annoying. Let's move on from that, guys. I don't know what you're gonna do. I'm not a writer-ish. I am learning, but let's bring something else. Let's do something else with it, Like you can just go to the office and come back like a normal guy, or like, I don't know, out like a normal blue collar guy. Surely there's something, because obviously most people would end up marrying a normal person anyway. So let's bring back the romance into the normalcy of our lives. Maybe we'll all be a bit happier, right? If we bring our fantasies right back to earth. Because the billionaires don't have, in our real world, they do not have good PR. So, yeah, the reality of them is not the fantasy. So I need the writers to bring spice back into our normal lives. Let's hate the billionaires together. Let's not fall in love with them. Also, well, sticking to the same kind of what I was talking about, the smut, the tropes, right? Okay, so I was reading this series. I was listening to this series. Let me see if I can find it. The series is called Haven Ever After, right? Book one. Like, look, okay, so there's nothing wrong with it, with the book, like, per se, or the series. I just find that it can be a plain series. You don't have, like, maybe it's just me. I think it's me. They were forcing this whole, because I'm a gargoyle or a troll, we're doms. And I'm just like, why are we doing that? Can it just be like a normal road? Like, I don't understand. Why are we doing that? And like, they sprinkle it in there. And like, they don't really take us anywhere with it. Yeah, pissing me off. Don't tempt me with sub-dumb shit and give me shit. Because, I mean, the story's fine. Like, it's nothing. It's fine. It's like a normal, it's fine. It's nothing special. But don't make it, like, why? Why are we adding the whole dumb stuff? And like, you season it in there, but there's no depth to it. Like, it's just, oh yeah, I'm a troll. Oh yeah, I'm a gargoyle. I mean, don't even get me. Don't get me into you take a potion and then your size, you're compatible. There's elongation of the throats and the down there. What are we doing? Oh my God. I mean, I know this is the first I'm listening to, but oh my God. I mean, I kind of just got, with a lot of these things, I just tend to kind of go along with it. And I was going along with this one. I really was. It's just sometimes when they do the whole sub-dumb thing, and it just kind of takes me out of the fantasy of the book, right? It kicks me out, in fact, not throws me out, especially with that forced sub-dumb dynamic. Let's do away with that. Not every, right? Okay, this is fantasy. And I get that, but if you're going to do it right, or do it well. But then again, what am I expecting from it? Fair. I don't know. I mean, mediocre. I didn't say mediocre, but you know what I mean. Like like a fine book is fine. I guess I shouldn't be expecting a lot of depth from it. When you have, but I feel like these subjects, like the split the book, let's not normalize it, but let's not make it something trivial, because it's not trivial. It needs to be handled properly. And I feel like a lot of these books kind of miss that fact, or they miss that point. They try to kind of obviously say, oh, blah, 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 but all of it is just blah, blah, blah. There's like an over machoization of these men, and then they're like super soft as well. And I'm just like, like, but I'm still listening to them though. I'm still paying $9.99 for the audiobook. Or $7.99, but $9.99 for my Audible subscription. But it's still, still. If I'm going to pay $7.99 for something, can it be good, please? Thank you. However, I do want to give props to like the voice actors. Fantastic. There are some really, really good ones out there. In fact, sometimes I find right that sometimes when I'm listening to a book and then let me go read the book, it's not the same. I think me listening to the book and reading the book at the same time is great, but me not listening to the book and just reading some books just on their own, I realize how bad some writers are, and I just don't want to continue. But then again, if I'm going to start doing this whole writing thing myself, and then people are going to critique me, I mean, I guess it's fine if people start critiquing me and stuff, but yeah, it's very interesting. Anyway, I just loving it, hating it, pros and cons. Right. Yeah. So anyway, Haven Ever After. Like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the series. It's clearly just a 2026 first class world problem type shit. It's no big deal. It's fantasy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got for that. Like, I'm always entertained, slightly disturbed by like these books. Always entertained, slightly disturbed, and at this point, financially invested. So I feel like if I'm financially invested, I should have an opinion of sorts, and I don't ever want to be harsh on a writer. I love the series. I will continue the series. I'm not critiquing, well, I guess I am critiquing the series, but I will continue the series because I thoroughly enjoy it, or enjoyed it. I've only read 2 so far, and I'm enjoying it. Like, I want to know how the other stories go. So color me nosy and color me invested in the series, because I definitely am. But yeah, I feel like let's bring back normalcy a little bit. The guy doesn't have to be special, because the reality is we're all not all that special. Let's say that. Let's make routine sexy again. Going to bed at 8:30. Let's make that sexy. Yeah, I said what I said. Let's make going to the gym at 5 a.m. sexy again. Right? Speaking of the gym, I found out I'm kind of gym sexy. In my opinion, I don't care what you have to say to me. I wore this toothpaste earlier on today. I was like, oh, I don't look that bad. Ooh. Might I say, the muscles were popping. The muscles, they were showing. I was quite excited about that, to be honest. Progress. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's what I've got for that particular one. Another thing, actually, that has been on my TikTok, my TikToky, it's the 1% Better lady. The lady who's doing the Muslim dating resource, where she's acting as a matchmaker. And I am thoroughly, when I say I am thoroughly invested. Some of her ideas, to be honest, I kind of agree with her, because she tries to find a balance between both genders, and when it comes to what you look like physically and what you I hate this term, but what you bring to the relationship, right? What you both bring to the table. If you're, lacking somewhere, or if you're excelling somewhere, and she kind of tries to match people equally, or match them, or I guess to match each other, to complement each other, I should say. So she's created this resource, and she's doing all these things, but then she's creating content and kind of telling us the, trends that she's noticing and what people are asking for, which kind of mirrors society as well, regardless of religion. Older men always want younger women, claiming they want children, but then obviously we need to tell the men that their sperm quality the older they are. I think I commented on one of her videos saying that old men and their geriatric sperm need to sort themselves out. It's given Muslima matchmaker. I love it. I love it, but I think something that she's kind of made me also realize, which I've been realizing recently as well, that a lot of people have already said this, right? But could it also be that a lot of us, men, women alike, are go in for people that don't necessarily are necessarily not our standard, just because we are who we are and because we are very comfortable in who we are. So we believe that we deserve a specific type of look, or we deserve a specific type of this. But personally, I think if you're going into a relationship and you're looking for something physically, I think there's a problem. It's one thing to obviously want to have a preference, but don't make that your deciding factor. Don't make that your first thing first, right? Make sure that the person is kind, the person respects you, the person sees you for who you are, and make sure that you're both kind of working through the same things, and like just normal shit. I think when we're looking, we tend to sometimes forget that the other person is also a human being. So let's remember that. But also at the same time, I feel like women are always doing this. So, but then that's just me, because I have a lot of women in my close friendship thing, don't really have a lot of the other gender. So I don't know what they were doing over there. I say this, just be kind. Me, I'm not in the dating pool. I said 2026, we're not doing that. In fact, 2025, I didn't really do that either. I think I went on the apps twice. The first time, deleted it. I said, mm-mm. The second time, I used Breeze. It was good. It was interesting. It forces you to actually go on dates, actually meet people. In my opinion, the concept is fantastic. They need to up the security checks on profile, because I'm sure I saw a profile on there of a guy. And in fact, I screenshotted it, and it was, if I can find the screenshot, I'll put it somewhere. It was something to, So they definitely need to do that, really tighten up on that security and making sure that the people on said accounts are who they say they are, before you actually physically go meet the person, because this is a one-to-one type of situation. So I'm expecting that the security has to be tight. If they get that 100% well, then great. But anyway, I saw a couple of that, and I was just like, you know what, no. And also kind of where I was just like, I want to focus on other things, and not relationships, not that. Relationships, I do want to focus on relationships, but relationships like my friends, my family, things like that. Those are the type of relationships I kind of want to focus on, not romantic relationships. I think towards the end of 2025, I kind of realised that it's not really for me. So I shall be moving on. Simple. All right. Going to pop culture. I want to talk about Afcon. That's it, Afcon. And congratulations to Senegal for winning. That was quite interesting. I don't know, like why has there been so much corruption, and what's up with the towels? Like, it's very strange, this Afcon. Like, I think a lot last year or a couple of years ago, people were like, oh, we need more eyes on Afcon. We need more eyes on Afcon. And then obviously now this year there's been more eyes on Afcon, and this is the fuckery that they're on. Diabolical. Also, popular news. I've just yesterday, I've just seen the whole Beckham thing. Shit. I feel like a few people have said this anyway. Beckham he's a grown man, he's an adult, and he's grown up in this world for a very long time, and he clearly has opinions and thoughts about how he's been treated by his parents, and he's not very happy about that. It's one thing to, what was that thing that Oprah did the other day that I heard about, where go with no contact with your parents? I think he's pretty much done that, and he also mentioned his siblings blocking him on pretty much everywhere, and he's saying it wasn't him that did that, and he's faced attacks, so it's his wives, and there's been inappropriate behavior from his parents and things like that. So it's very heartbreaking. And I think I understand. Okay, I don't understand. I can hear the parents wanting to hold that Beckham name to a specific standard and to want to have control over that. I think I can hear that from a branding side of things, right? So it doesn't fall into hands that they don't necessarily trust. But at the same time, this is your child. You cannot control this person. They are their own entity. And I guess he felt the pressure, and he wasn't very happy about that. Maybe it's explaining that to him, and also specific behavior towards him and his wife, the person who he has chosen to be with, regardless of what they think. Because I believe what he said on the little message was that they didn't really want the marriage to kind of go ahead, which, ouch, But hey, we all live and we learn. I hope everyone ends up happy and crazy, quick. Interesting day for sure. I'm sure there's going to be more that's going to come out. Am I going to talk about it? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Because me, I have a problem. I don't really care. Moving on. Down in India, they broke up. Everyone was losing their mind. Everyone was I think it's interesting, right? Because this is typically like, maybe it's just my opinion or my limited knowledge. I can't do this. It's a very American discourse that's been going on. No, American type, not like American discourse, American type discourse. Because I, I don't think the UK kind of has discourses when it comes to things. We have, I don't think we've really had that. But anyway, the whole damning Indian thing caused the whole UK, TikTok, whatever, to kind of just go crazy. And then, in my opinion, I don't think India needed to say anything, just like Dami didn't say anything. India girl, I don't know why you said shit. The only person you owe an apology to is Dami. Simple. I mean, maybe like 5 months down the line, you could have just said something, but not now. Like, when I saw it, I was just like, who's telling you to do shit? Who's telling you to make a statement? You don't owe them shit. Because they didn't know anything. It wasn't you. Okay, I'm joking. But obviously I don't condone cheating. I can't even say it with a straight face. Okay, obviously I don't condone cheating. I actually don't. And I still don't. Like, I don't really know what happened. She kissed the guy. Were they still together? Was that what she was admitting? Because the statement that she released was like she made a mistake. But that's her admitting what, though? Her kissing the guy? I feel like I need her to... This whole thing is messy. And it's hard to trust people, obviously, when they break your heart and whatnot. So, it's tough. I wonder if they were still together at the time. Good luck to them both. India's working. Dami is doing his thing. I think they're young. They're living their lives, They're, life. At least they're not married. And there are no children involved. That cannot be my take. Okay, I do have thoughts. I do actually have an opinion about this, but I think that would have to be a separate video. I think I mentioned the whole, because when I was talking about 1% better, I kind of mentioned old men and their geriatric sperm. It kind of got me also. I need to be able to say this with a straight face. Because like, if the 1% better lady hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have thought this, right? So it's there needs to be more, in my opinion, there needs to be better PR, or is it PR? Is that the right word? But there needs to be better, because I was thinking about it, right? Because what was it? I went to one of my cousin's birthday thing, and we were all just having a conversation, right? And the whole age gap thing came up again. It's these days it's like a hot topic. I don't even know. And I was like, oh, nah, like I'm not for it type thing. And then they were like, do I have a limit? And I really had to think about it, right? Because then they were like, oh, what if like the person's like, in their 40s, but like the youngest person is like, much older. And I was just like, look, if you're 50 years old and you attach yourself to a 70-year-old man, just know that every Saturday you're going to go to a funeral, innit? And like, if you can, deal with that, then hey, you do you. Because like, the younger person would then start thinking about death and stuff. That's not good for your mental health, is it? When one person is closer to the grave than you, because then the other person, I mean, forget all the whatnot that could possibly happen, and suddenly, assuming everything goes smoothly, right? Everything's fine. But the way, the state of mind that the person is in is entirely different from yours. Like, all the things that they're worrying about at that age is different. Like, their bones are brittler than yours, If anything, they're like a note to stuff that you shouldn't do, or things that you should, take note of. And then you're kind of like their carer as well. I don't know. Unless you have money, which a lot of us don't. Unless like you're rich. Even then. But then I was like, they didn't ask me. What was it? I think the guy, he was a psychologist or something. He did something with mental health. And he diagnosed me. He goes, I need to go see someone or talk to someone because I've got OCD. I said I don't have OCD. Because like, it doesn't have to be that way. I just prefer things to be in a certain way. And like, this is stuff that I wouldn't do, or like things that I struggle to come to terms with, for example. Not necessarily like I would do something about it if things don't go my way. Like, does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that it was the discussion that we had was so funny. Because my intent was to come eat and go, but I ended up leaving with a diagnosis. But just speaking of, actually, yeah, that discussion kind of really made me speed up my need to go to a therapist. I've actually found one. I need to message her at some point because clearly there's clearly there's problems. But yeah, it was actually a fun discourse. And also, this is a discussion with a man as well. Yeah, and I had a discussion with my uncle over Christmas as well, which shock also made me start thinking about stuff too. It is entirely different type of conversation, but conversation nonetheless. It was very eye opening. It turns out men have thoughts or something. Who would have thought? There's be the end of my ranting about. No, it's never going to end. I'm never getting off the necks of men. Why? Because I can. It's fun. Gotta rile them up a little bit every now and then. But speaking of things that rile, or anyway, recently I've been thinking, right, about the words that we use and like terminologies and things that we say ourselves, right? I think I saw a TikTok video and this guy was talking about, I think, what was he talking about? He was talking about his dating history and like a date that he went on with an influencer. Anyway, that's not the point. The point was he said he went on a date with a girl. And I'm like, sometimes I think we need to stop this. In my opinion, we need to, like, once you're over in like 20, 24, 25, like when you're like there, you need to start referring to yourself as a young woman. Like refer to yourself as a young woman, not a girl, and like refer to men of the same age as a young man. And then when you're like over 30, that's a man, that's a woman type shit. Because in my opinion, this is going to sound very insane, but I've been thinking, right, that if you refer to yourselves as, or me, if I refer to myself as like, oh, the girls or the boys, the lads, not men, women, young man type shit, you kind of infantilize yourself in a way. You feel me? Like, I was thinking, because I think that like the language that we use to refer to ourselves does impact how we view ourselves, right? It kind of, it shapes our perception of who we are in a way. And like, if we keep referring to ourselves as like girl, guy, boy type, like if a woman goes on like the same thing and she's like, oh, I matched this boy. I'm like, you didn't match this boy. You matched this man. This is a man. Do not infantilize. Or like, girl, it's the same thing. Stop doing that. You're grown. Don't be gross. Grow up. But anyway, I'm not trying to say that it makes you emotionally stunted or anything, but I do believe that the words that you do use to refer to yourself can impact how you view yourself. Like, I know, like, sometimes we say things casually in a conversation. Like, I understand that's fine, but I believe that relative to your age, we should start developing language or changing the language of the words that we use to refer to ourselves. You know how they're like, oh, if you want more positive stuff, you need to think more positive stuff. Or if you want, you know, I think, because I think this generation, we're a bit stuck. And I think a little bit of that has to do with us kind of wanting to stay young forever. I think every generation has this, to be honest. It's not just us. But let's all grow up. Yeah, me too, I want to grow up. Okay. Not quickly. I mean, I just got here. I just got to this realization. So not quickly, but let's do it. This whole life is a scam. Anyway, to be honest, you know, everything is a scam. Mortgage is a scam. Even school these days is looking like a scam. I don't mean school. I mean universities, specific courses. It's all looking very scammy these days. The government, all of it. Everybody's looking very, very scammy. How should I end this, guys? And that's all, folks. I hope you've enjoyed episode 1. Let me know if you like or don't like or whatnot. Actually, no. I need to come up with a proper outro right here and here, because that's just way too chaotic. It is. What's the time? It's 10:47 in the morning. I'm yet to have breakfast. I think that's why I need to eat. What am I going to eat? Oh, I saw this TikTok thing. You know, with the eggs, where you make hot water, you boil the water, you put the egg in the thing, you add you add water in the egg mixture, and then you kind of boil it, and then it makes like an egg flan type thing, and then you put like seasoning and stuff on top. Yeah, I was thinking of having that for breakfast. It looks nice. I've got some oyster sauce and soy sauce somewhere, and I've got everything bagel seasoning. I got it the other day. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, no way. In the UK? Because you see the Americans talking about it all the time and they put it on everything. And I was just like, what? You know, But it's good though. I had it with my pizza the other day, last night actually. It's quite good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like it added a little bit of like a little something, a little with the sesame seeds, like a little nuttiness and like and like saltiness as well. Turns out, I found out. Speaking of scams, I found out that electrolyte is a scam. Why is everything a scam? Even Mel Robinson is also trying to scam you as well. But that is an entirely different video. So because self-help books, 98% of them are written by grifters and scammers. And I'm not saying that they don't help, but they're all grifters. But everyone is trying to sell something, I guess. But some of it are very harmful. Anyway, you need to take this from someone who listens to If Books Could Kill, where they kind of just roast most of these self-help books, and I thoroughly enjoy it because... Is it? Yeah, it's this. It's because this is clock. Hey, goodbye.